All right, so play this out real quick. If Penn State fires James Franklin and you're a Penn State graduate, do you want Bill Belichick to be your head coach? No. If Florida fires Billy Napier after the season, do the Florida Gators want Bill Belichick to be their head coach?
No.
No, sir.
No.
If Alabama fires Kalen DeBoer, do Alabama Crimson Tide fans want Bill Belichick to be their head coach? No, sir. And that's the point. That's why I said yesterday he has sullied the legacy. Speaking of Miami, though, real quick, the Miami Dolphins are going to fire Mike McDaniel. He apparently almost got fired after the loss to Carolina, and Stephen Ross is at his wit's end with the bumbling, stumbling, allegedly stoned head coach of the Miami Dolphins. But they have isolated their replacement, and the answer is Rex Ryan. Apparently, Rex Ryan has had some conversations with Stephen Ross or people representing Stephen Ross, and do not be surprised, A, that Mike McDaniel gets fired, B, that Chris Greer, the GM, also gets fired, and they turn football operations, or coaching at least, over to Rex Ryan, who very badly wants to get back into coaching, thought he had a chance actually to come back and coach the Jets when Aaron Glenn got the job. He's made no secret of the fact that he wants to coach again. And I've been told that he is a serious candidate for Stephen Ross and the Miami Dolphins. Now, that doesn't mean by default that you fire Mike McDaniel, let's say on Monday,
right,
and Rex comes in to mop up the dirt over the last 8-9 weeks of the season, and maybe you have an interim coach does that, and then you start fresh. But do not sleep on Rex Ryan returning to a coaching sideline in the AFC East, which would be his third job in the same division, having coached the Jets and then the Bills.
And Bills, yeah.
And that's the name I was told is number one right now. I guess in theory, until they make the move on Mike McDaniel, maybe other candidates will emerge. But Rex Ryan right now is the leader in the clubhouse to get the Miami job.
Now that's interesting.
Stephen Ross.
You mentioned Bill Belichick in the previous segment. Rex is currently on ESPN.
Yeah.
Could he literally move right into that spot to my Belichick?
No, because
on that show.
To me, Rex Ryan brings energy.
A lot of energy
to an otherwise boring show. Okay. Bill Belichick doesn't bring energy. Bill Belichick should be the guy that comes on at like 6 o'clock at night and breaks down film with Sal Paolantonio. That's what Bill Belichick, because he's really good at it.
Yeah.
Like, walk me through this play.
And he was good at that.
Walk me through why this play works and what the thought process. I think he would be great, for example, if you did a segment every day, every week, showing me great coaching decisions and bad coaching decisions and the thought process and why. Remember the show Ron Jaworski used to do?
Yeah, I used to love that show.
Back in the day.
Yeah, he used to do it out of
the name of it.
He used to do it out of Mount Laurel at the NFL Films facility.
I don't care where he did it from.
That's where he did it from.
I know it's close to your heart, and you probably dated a girl from Mount Laurel. Great. NFL Films comes from Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Great. I don't care where they do it from. That's what he would be good at. Break down film
NFL
and teach me something about football that I might not know.
And Merrill Hodge used to be on that show back in the day.
You want to list everybody that did the show?
Yeah.
Speaking of football, Greg, this Cleveland situation is getting crazy. I love every bit of it. So we all thought, myself included yesterday, that when Joe Flacco got traded to the Cincinnati Bengals, that it was obvious that Dylan Gabriel, who I know they're committed to, and Jordan Schultz reported again this morning, that they are 100% behind and committed to Dylan Gabriel being their future and current starting quarterback. And he would really have to either get hurt or just totally embarrass himself not to be given a full opportunity to take the job and make it his for years to come. But we all thought that meant by default that Shedeur Sanders is now the backup quarterback. If Dylan gets hurt, or as we said yesterday, give him a 4-game run, go into the bye week, and if he can't play football and the offense is only scoring 6 points a game, why not at that point give Shedeur a shot? But how about this coming out of Cleveland right now? Shedeur Sanders is not expected to be the number 2 quarterback this week. Now, they play the Steelers this week, right?
Yes.
And the Steelers have beaten them every year for, I think, 23 consecutive years in Pittsburgh. I think they have one win in Pittsburgh this century. You could fact check me on that, but I know I'm right because I already looked it up. But fact check me anyway because I like people reminding me that I'm right. So they apparently are going to elevate Zappe off the practice squad to make him the backup quarterback to Dylan Gabriel, and they are not promoting Shedeur Sanders to the backup role. When that becomes official, which should be today, that Bailey Zappe is coming off the practice squad. He's actually the elder statesman in the room because you only have 2 rookies right there without Zappe, right? Could you imagine how all the race baiters and all the Deion ass kissers are going to come out of the woodwork talking about, once again, if Cleveland doesn't like him, they should just cut him. If Cleveland doesn't, blah, 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 they're disrespecting him. They're embarrassing him. No. What they know is that he's not ready for the moment yet. So if you have one rookie quarterback starting, if he fails, let's at least have a veteran backstop, which is what Bailey Zappe is, and not go to another untested, unproven rookie. But there's another story in Cleveland that's percolating right now that would make it quite obvious to me that Shedeur Sanders will never be a starting quarterback in Cleveland. And then you can debate why'd you draft him, all that nonsense, in another conversation. Deshaun Watson is getting the green light to start practicing in the next few days.
Ugh.
They can't trade him. The money's too big. We all know that. The owner even said it was a swing and a miss. But he's on the roster. And he's coming back from a second torn Achilles. And apparently he's good to go in the next couple of days to start practicing. As bad as Deshaun Watson has been in his few years in Cleveland, there is no argument to be made that when he walks on a football field, he is by default the best quarterback the Cleveland Browns have currently on their roster. Yeah. He shows up, he's better than Shedeur. He takes a yawn, he's better than Dylan Gabriel. He runs 5 yards, he's better than Bailey Zappe. So all of a sudden, 24 hours ago, Shedeur Sanders fans thought, we're finally going to get our shot. We're getting our chance. The kid's going to start because Dylan Gabriel at some point is going to get hurt or not be any good. And now 24 hours later, your dreams have been crushed. Pay the man his money because your dreams have been crushed. And I'm not a dream crusher, but apparently the Cleveland Browns are. You were this close to starting or playing in a real NFL game. And now here comes Bailey Zappe, bang, you're back to third string. And here comes Deshaun Watson, and now you're the fourth string quarterback, meaning you're on the practice squad, and we don't even think about you. And I am waiting because I cannot wait. I get joy out of this to watch the apoplectic commentators and Deion stands to go totally bat poop crazy on how the Cleveland Browns are wronging Shedeur Sanders. It's coming. It's coming, and I'm here for all the smoke.
It can't
but it's
happen.
Coming.
It won't happen. The reason it won't happen is if you put him on a practice squad, you're cutting him. Someone would pick him up if you cut him.
By the way, no guarantee of that.
Someone would pick him up.
You know why
if
there's
they
no
cut him.
guarantee of that? Because what team right now would sign up for the circus? And that's why I made the point a few weeks ago. When you do that stupid mime thing that he did in the locker room,
that was bad.
It makes general managers who are on the fence about you not want to take the risk in bringing you in because you are a distraction. He really is the black Tim Tebow from a distraction standpoint. We all knew that Tim Tebow couldn't play at the NFL.
Couldn't play a lick.
But when the Jets brought him here, he flew here on a private jet to Teterboro Airport and went to have a press conference, and there was not another player in the building. And there was a press conference on an off day, and all the media had to come out to talk to Tim Tebow. And then a week later, with the rain falling down in Florham Park, my guy did one of the sexiest things any athlete's ever done. He unbuttoned the shirt, he took it off, and he threw it on the ground. And then somehow, some way, in slow motion, he ran from the field to the clubhouse, topless, with droplets of rain hitting his well-defined body. And guys like me fell in love. But the reality is this.
What?
I knew in my heart he couldn't play. And I know in my heart Shedeur can't play. And now he's going to be embarrassed and humiliated by Bailey Zappe and Deshaun Watson.